friends, today I'm going to be talking about Aaaarrgghh Spider. And this is a really fun book that doesn't seem to be very well known, and I'd really encourage you to check it out. You can use it certainly around Halloween when we tend to be doing a lot of spider themes, but this is a book that can actually be used year-round. It is not seasonal in any way. What's actually happening is we've got this little spider who is desperately trying to be part of the family. He wants to be their family pet. And it goes through with him describing all the reasons why he would be a better pet than the ones they already have. That in itself is kind of funny. This is actually a great picture book. While my little ones understand it, my older elementary students actually get a real kick out of it because there's so much more sophisticated humor going on. So even just opening up to this beginning idea, we're looking at a family that's sitting upside down on their couch. And you realize it's because our spider is the one that's hanging upside down, but he's the one telling the story. And that's why this is what's not looking quite right to us. For my kids who are struggling with social or working on social thinking, this is a great book for working on perspective. Spider's perspective versus the family's perspective. And you'll see this throughout, not just with their being upside down on that first one, but on this one. So he's saying how great he is at dancing, and he's really happy about his dancing, but then we can talk about the facial expressions of the family and how they might be thinking about his dancing. And even more, when they see him moving like that, are they even really thinking he's dancing? So this is some higher level thinking, again, for my older elementary school students, that is really fun to bring in. We have some follow-up activities for this as well, for just kind of some fun, but you can turn this into races in your classroom, or it's just a fun fine motor activity to do. You can use play spiders. You can also use pom-poms. I like the ones that have a little bit of kind of that glitter or sparkle, just because they sort of look a little more spidery and they kind of feel like it when you touch them. So just putting these out and then showing the kids how they can cover up the spider and slide a card under there to trap it, and then bringing it somewhere else and letting it go. And you see one of the characters in the story do that as well. So that's a fun, like I said, kind of, you could do it as a relay race, something like that. If that is a little too difficult for your students, you can also just use a dustpan and work on kind of brushing those spiders up and getting them out of the way. So that's something you could do as well. If your students are a little bit on the older side, again, this would be good for middle to upper elementary, and you feel safe with it, you might want to think about using a mini glue gun. The kids love doing this because it seems like such a grown-up tool, but it's actually pretty safe. I would suggest having them use gardening gloves. The tip gets very hot, but other than that, it's generally pretty safe. Once it heats up, you can just squeeze the glue, and you can either make spider webs on paper. The thing that's nice about making spider webs with the hot glue gun is that it doesn't matter how messy it is. They always kind of look like spider webs in the end anyway. If you do it on something like wax paper or rubber matting like you might use for baking cookies, they'll peel right off, and you can actually even stick like a spider ring in there so it looks more like a spider web if you wanted. A final activity might be thumbprint spiders, and these are really quick and easy to do and can be great for a math activity, because you can have them do 10 or 20 or even 100 spiders. You can even have them do them in groups of 5s or 10s or whatever it is that you might be working on. For a final activity, you might want to put together graphs of different types of pets and what we expect them to do and maybe what we don't expect them to do, just like the spider in the story. If you like these activities, there's a PDF copy you can download online. Just check my video description below and be sure to subscribe to my channel.